Vanessa, welcome to Beyond the Name. And I'm very, very excited to have you here on the couch.
Thanks for having me.
We are really excited to hear all about your journey and how you have managed to build such a recognizable brand and so much authority in your industry. Knowing how much the two of us love to chat, we've already spoken off air that we probably should have booked the whole day out for us too, that we'll just continue to stack and talk on top of each other and drift off into other places. I have written down questions to stay on track.
Perfect. We need that.
We do need that. And just to make sure this podcast has lots of intention. So are you ready to just dive straight in?
Let's go. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Welcome to Beyond the Name with me, Casey Lee. This is a podcast for business owners presented by a multi-business owner. This podcast is all about having real conversations with business owners and people in power, answering questions and offering advice you never knew you needed. Beyond the Name connects you to the people behind the brand you see every day, the decisions you didn't know you needed to make. If you are sick of second guessing your growth and are ready to understand how experienced business owners actually think, then this is the podcast for you. Keep an eye off my questions. So
I know I'm getting distracted. So look,
don't get ahead of yourself. This is just there to sort of flick back at in case we go off track and just to keep us on path. So normally how the podcast works as well is the questions are there, but it's just a natural flow of questions. So and conversation. So don't be nervous. And so for anybody who has not recognized you right here or your brand, how would you briefly describe who you are and what your business does?
Okay, I'm Ness. I've just turned 30 years old. Don't act it. I would call myself like a lash lift educator. I've got a lash lift salon, like brown lash salon, and I've got lash lift specific products, and I'm building out a product line as well. So basically the brand overarching name is Lash Alchemy, and then there's like kind of like 3 sister brands within that. So we've got Lash Alchemy Studios, which is my salon, Lash Alchemy Australia, which is the product line, and then Lash Alchemy Academy / Vanessa Rawling Beauty, which is my lash lift education.
Yeah.
Don't know if I answered your question.
I loved that there's so many different avenues happening there, and we're going to dive into a little bit of them today. Where does Lash is it Alchemy come from? I'm going to ask that again. Where does Lash Alchemy come from, and how did you come up with that name?
So like before ChatGPT was a thing, so Lash Alchemy was born in 2022, like the brand name. And actually started with my first product was a lash growth serum, which is just kind of like laying dormant at the moment. And I remember I had a spreadsheet up of like all different names that I could do. And I was on like, I think it was ASIC. We found a business name? Yeah. So before ChatGPT, and I had a spreadsheet of like all the names that were like available with the website, with a URL, with a ABN available. Like I had to tick all the boxes, and I had like red and green columns. So like I was just trying to find words that made sense.
Yeah.
So I had like lash, and then it was like I think initially I had like lash reform. So glad I didn't go with that. And I just had all these names, and I was going through and seeing if they were available in like all areas. And then we had alchemy, which I was like, I don't even think I knew what the word was.
But I don't.
It's like it means like transformation.
Okay, cool. I'm sitting here thinking, hope she mentions what the name means.
It's like transformation, and like that one of the meanings is like transformations from like lead into gold. So like when for me, I was like, oh, transformation of your eyelashes, like it's. Do you know what I mean? And I think I was like, well, that's available. Cool, we'll just go with that.
Yeah,
so
cool.
It's not that deep.
Yeah. I'm sitting here just like in awe of your lashes right now.
Thank you.
Like, yeah, really, really, really beautiful. Especially I have spoken to you about how desperately my 15-year-old daughter wants a lash lift, and I'm looking going, oh yeah, I could
Get her in.
They look good. They look really good.
Get her in.
Oh, so tell us about who you were before you started your business. Was it in 2022?
Yeah, my story's like a bit like it's not straightforward. So I basically took a lash lifting course. Let's go back. I actually took a lash extension course in 2018. I think I was like 21 years old, and I just wanted like extra cash to go out the weekends. I was like, well, I need a side hustle. Got qualified, went to like a TAFE school, got qualified in like a lash extension course. And then as soon as I'd started doing them, I never really liked it, but as soon as I started doing them, I was getting them done myself and I started to have allergic reactions
Yeah, cool.
right as I got qualified. And then I was like, oh my God, like I don't want this to happen to anyone on
So like eye swelling up,
Yeah, yeah.
reaction to the glue.
the whole shebang. And then I went to like 3 different artists and like this is when only classics were around. And
Yeah.
like, they were all kind of like, no, like
Don't want to touch you.
don't know what to do, don't want to touch you. I'm like, well, if that's happening to me, like I do not want that to happen to anyone. Like I'll shit my pants. So went back to my TAFE school and saw a course on there that was like one-shot lash lifting. And that was with like the OG brand, Ali Bana, back in the day. And I think that was like a half-day class at my TAFE on a Saturday with like 30 girls in the room. Pretty sure I was like hungover at the class or probably still drunk. Did my best friend and went on my merry way. And again, that was purely just like, I need some money on the weekends. I guess we're going to do
hustle.
this. Side hustle. Was doing like $30 lash lifts in my mum's spare room. And now I charge $179. So bit of growth there.
Just a teeny.
Just a teeny bit of bit of growth there. But yeah, it was never like my dream to be in beauty. Like it was legit a side hustle and it just sort of evolved. So I had that laying like in the background. Like I would do clients every now and then for a few years, like in mum's spare bedroom whilst I worked. Like I'm that bitch that's done everything, like ADHD. But always had 2-3 jobs at once. I worked like at the council. And then fast forwarding a few years later, I was actually in like 2022, a women's strength coach at a gym that's local to the area. And then I had just purchased my first house with my partner. So I was like, I've got a mortgage to pay, like 20 hours a week isn't cutting it.
Yeah.
And then my boss at the time was like, why don't you do your lash lifts on the side for like 1 day a week? So I did that.
She regrets making that suggestion, doesn't she?
I think that.
She lost her great employee.
Well, I don't know if I was a great employee. I don't think I'm not meant to work for someone. I think so. I'm a personality hire. Yeah. Absolutely. But I was doing my lash lifts on the side 1 day a week. And that was when like lash Botox first came out and boomed. And I was like one of the first in Melbourne to offer it. So
can you just let us know what lash Botox is?
So lash Botox, I like to explain it like kind of like K18 or Olaplex. Like, you know, you could be a not healthy blonde back in the day. I explained that like a lash lift and tin. And then now like lash Botox is like being a healthy blonde. Like you can be a healthy blonde with your K18 and stuff like that. So it's basically like a treatment that we do on the end in service that some brands can claim to like help them grow and thicken over treatments. But yeah, just a lot healthier.
Yep. Cool.
I don't know if I explained that.
I didn't even know lashes could be unhealthy. So I've learnt something.
They could, yeah. And basically, my Thursdays, I was like one of the first in Melbourne to offer lash Botox and they just boomed. Like that just took off. I was like one of the first to do it. My Thursdays were booked out like 4 weeks ahead. I was doing like 12-hour back-to-back Thursday, walking out with like way more than I was making in a week from working at the gym.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then long story short, that gym, the gym didn't work out. I literally thought I was going to be like a coach my whole entire life. It was my lifelong dream. That didn't work out. And I was like, well, guess I'm just going to do my lashes to get me by in the meantime. And then took off. Yeah. And then 2022, and that's when I decided to come out with like a growth serum, like right from leaving then. And I feel like 2022 is when I started to take my business seriously as a business. So I registered as a company and thought of Lash Alchemy. And then that's sort of when it all started. I would say like I entered it as a business from then.
Yeah. And how long have you been in Beaconsfield for?
Around 4 years, 2022.
Okay, so that was your spot.
Yeah, that was the moment. I was like, oh, I'm doing this as my full-time job, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just fell into it.
Yeah. I love that, how it can just like magically happen, right? You don't have it your whole life, focused on that one thing, and then you can fall into it and you're like, wow, this is it, and make it into a career. I've got a similar story. What was going through your head when you left your long line dream of being a coach, thought, well, this is my new adventure?
I don't think I thought too much of it because, like I said, I'm that bitch that's had a job everywhere. Yeah. Like I was like, nah, this makes money. Like I guess I'll do this.
It was a sort of a money transition. Like, why am I working here when I can make this much there?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think it got really stressful when I was like, oh God, this is my full-time job. And like, oh, you actually have to rely on like clients coming in and it's inconsistent and I've got a mortgage and like my stress like was through the roof. I would say that like from 2022 to honestly even last year, like really unhealthy stress-wise. Like, yeah, because I was like, oh, obviously, as I do, I'm going to full send this and go balls to the wall. Like, if I'm going to do this, we're going to obviously have to be the best at everything and do everything right, but then set myself into a bit of stress as well in the process.
Yeah. And when you're running multiple parts of your business, you've got to invest in them all as well, which is financially scary.
Yeah.
And you can sometimes wear your bank too thin as well. And
we'll talk about that. Yeah.
that's quite scary as well
Yeah.
because it has been, and I reckon, so like coming out of COVID, so we all had COVID, and then coming out of COVID, we all were really busy. And I reckon in the last 18 months, a lot of business owners, no matter what industry they're in, have really felt the crunch.
Oh, yeah.
Of people like pulling back and not spending and everything rising apart from our profits. And it's been challenging. So you started as a lash tech before you moved into offering education and products. Was there anything that was normalized in the lash industry that you knew that you disagreed with and that you then changed in your own business?
Oh, that's a hard question, isn't it? What about you? Add an example.
Well, example as in you disagreed with potentially doing lash extensions, like you shared a bit of that story. But is there anything in there that you've seen that like other people were doing for their lash lifts or their Botox or something that you're like, oh, I don't want to do that in my business and this is what's going to make me different?
I think for me it was just like focusing on lash health, so like doing lash Botox, like, and always upskilling. I feel like people just get to like they get comfortable, whereas I'm like no, like I want to learn more and more and more and more.
I feel like that right there is the definition of success.
Yeah.
It's just constant education and even noticing. I always prided myself in lots of education for my team, but I think until what I've already done this year and investing in my team as much as I have, I just have noticed such a huge shift in my business, that constant upskilling, because like you can never not have enough support and education. So I agree with you there. Like it's just, I don't understand how people aren't out there educating and investing in themselves and their team and all of the things. Like it's such a reward that you get back when you invest.
And even like, I don't know about you guys, but the lash lift industry and lash and brows, holy shit, it is like so fast paced and constantly evolving. I'm like, if you're not keeping up, sis, you're like, you're old news. Like, for example, me bringing Korean lash lifting this year, I'm like, if I didn't bring that in, like that took my business to another level. So last year, I'm like, I'd be old news.
I feel like it's social media too. As soon as it's on social media, if it's not in your salon, so you've got like your clients then gone to the person that's doing that thing that's trendy.
Yeah. And even going back to like education, I'm like, holy fuck, if I can learn how someone's held a brush, I've learned something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. One tiny small thing that can tweak and shift the way you do something is huge.
Yeah.
I shall teach that at my education. It's something I say, if you can take one thing away from today, then I've done my job. There's going to be lots of things that other educators do that are the same as me, but that one thing that you take and implement into your business or into your brand, the day's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Constant education is important to a business and their team. Is that why you started educating others yourself? And what did you see the benefits were from being an educator?
People always ask me, like, how'd you get into educating? Again, like it wasn't this big, like I'm going to be an educator. Like I would literally get questions all the time from other artists on how to do things, especially like being, I guess, that leader in like lash Botox and getting ahead with that. And my results were different to people's back then. Like I definitely stood out and they looked different. So I had people traveling hours to see me. But going back to how I became an educator, I was constantly getting DMs like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I was naturally, I just love to help people. Like I was on the, on the blower, helping them, replying to them. And then I think someone was like, can you teach me?
And then you're like, this is actually quite consuming.
Yeah. Regrets. No, not really. But
the messages I get, like I just got a message of somebody being like, can you please film the whole full head foils on TikTok? And I'm like, how am I going to upload 5 hours worth of work? And just like, can you please tell me how you've done the root shadow and the toning you've picked and how you did your foil placement and how you blow waved all in one TikTok comment? I'm like, how would you like me to express that through social media?
Come do some training, girl.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I really need to get into the online space. But once you're sort of getting those questions regularly where it's not an easy answer either, you're like, there's a huge gap in the market.
Yes. Yeah, I think I was like, I know how to help people and I can answer your question. And then it was just, again, like a natural progression. I think I
can make some money off doing this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, well, I'm helping people. I may as well do it. And like, I started educating in 2023, which like now everyone needs dog's a bloody educator, which is fine. But I was doing it again ahead of the pack. Yeah. So I think that definitely helped grow that. I don't even know if I answered your question.
I don't know either. Have you noticed that the education spaces are harder to fill now that there's lots of other educators?
Nah.
No. And have you felt like there's a lot of educators out there that need more educating themselves?
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to not sound brutal.
yeah.
But I'm like, why are we doing a course and then like 6 months later we're teaching it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, sorry, you got to do the reps. Like, I did 4 years of fuck ups.
Especially it's people's eyes.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous. Like, there's chemicals, there's all these risks being so close to people's eyes. Like, you need to have the groundwork in.
It's wild to me. I don't know. I'm like, I think there's definitely people that are doing that for like maybe the wrong reasons, like want to make a quick buck, but I think that also stands out as well.
And you told me that you learnt at TAFE.
Yeah, I did like a TAFE course.
So recently I spoke to my insurance broker I'm very close with. She works quite closely with me in my coaching business. And she told me that, and this was just her advice, that she rang some insurers. And if you have not been trained by a certified coach, so you can be an educator because you have learnt through the TAFE.
Yeah.
But if they have learnt through you, then they can't go and educate and be insured.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
they can go and work as an
artist,
but they can't then go and educate without having that accreditation.
Interesting. I feel like that's not even a known thing.
Yeah.
There you go. That's something I want to.
Accredited, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So it might be wrong, but I rang up and asked my insurance broker one day. I said,
Yeah.
look, I have quite a lot of people in my world that want to teach hair extensions or this and that, but they may not necessarily have their certificate. And she's like, I'll make some phone calls. And all the people that got back to her did say that because they weren't actually taught by an accredited.
There you go. Yeah, because I
So
like
cross-check that.
I will. I'm like, can I have
That is
details?
that's a selling point for you as well.
Absolutely, because I feel like there's been definitely a lot of people that have just like done my course and then I'm like, oh, 5 minutes later, I'm like, how did you build a course that took me years to make? And now how are you just got all that information to now go and teach? Like, do you know what I mean?
No,
I'm like,
I know what you mean.
It's a little bit like, it's a little bit shit. But going back to that as well, I feel like there's a lot of people that will teach everything, whereas I feel like the reason that I peaked so well is because I, built my business of just offering one service. So that built that full time of just doing lash lifts and just teaching that. Like, I'm not like the jack of all trades, master of none. I'm like, that is my bread and butter. And then even then I'm like, there's still room for me to learn.
It's the same as me. Everyone's like, oh, what's the trend of 2026? I'm like, my business is not built on trend.
Yeah. No.
My business is built on niche.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, high impact blondes aren't necessarily in right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of low maintenance stuff like that. We have a lot of girlies come in and travel for that, but we still have people travel interstate, overseas, 4-hour drives for high impact blonde because no other salons are doing it because it's not on trend. So I love that you've niched down and really made a name for yourself in that one. What's the right word?
Service?
One service.
Yeah.
Right. To be like, I am the motherfucking expert
Yeah.
in this service. And that's what I've been known for. That's why people travel.
Yeah.
That's why I can educate. That's why I can now launch my own products. Which is really
1,000%.
cool.
Yeah.
The insurance thing is an example of something not everyone knows, which is kind of scary. What is your biggest, most intense fears about moving into education, and how did you then get past them?
I think going, like, if I reflect back, I think I had those thoughts like, holy fuck, I'm working with someone's eye. Like, like, am I, telling all the right things and stuff like that? But for me to work through that, I have always been like, I've always had a business coach essentially in the beauty industry. So someone that obviously makes sense to what you're doing. I had Kaylee was my business coach at the time of me doing my course, and she had been doing lash educating and brow educating, and do you know what I mean? She was in that space for years before. So I had that mentor, that expert that I could ask, and she's like super reputable. And also like did my research, like called insurance brokers, like called all the right people, and make sure I was like covering
Properly covered.
Yes.
People don't realize how important a business coach is.
Yeah.
Do they?
Nope.
Until you've actually experienced what it's like to have somebody mentor you that has walked the path before you, like, it's just one of the most rewarding investments that you can do, because instead of you finding out the hard way and the tears and all of the things, that you can literally download exactly what they've learned straight into your business model.
Yeah. I always tell Kayla, I'm like, there's no way I'd be where I am without you. Like, I always said to everyone, I'm like, I have like paid my way to the top. I'm like, I feel like I shot out quick and like grew quick. Let's just say 4 years. Only just ticking over 4 years.
Yeah.
Like up to the top within the industry, I would say, as in like known in the space. Sorry, I don't need to sound like a wanker.
No, that's
But I have like I've always paid my way to the top, like paying for business coach. You're paying for answers. Like I have bypassed doing all the mistakes myself. I'm like, it's like having a boss to go to, right?
absolutely.
But I'm like, fuck no shame. I've like paid for it. I've paid my way to the top.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you make that money back
Yeah.
in your business,
Yeah.
the investment of a business coach, when you plug in and use it properly.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as like me taking courses. Like I've taken that many lash lift trainings and that many lash lift courses because I wanted to,
It's non-negotiable.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I wanted to get there quick. So I'm like, obviously, I'm going to get a business coach and do courses. So yeah, I don't even know fancy.
They're my two number one things to tell people when they're in my inbox. Like, how do you get to where you are? How have you grown your social media? How you've done this? And I'm like, well, constantly. I've actually never had a business coach for my hair salon, mind you.
Oh,
Not once.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I wish I did. It would have saved so much nightmares. I've had business coaches for my coaching business.
Yeah.
And it's just naturally shifted some things in my hair salon.
Yeah.
A lot of it's been mindset though over the years. So yeah, people don't understand the power of
yeah,
quantum leaping and getting from where you started to where you are a lot quicker, having those classes of education, having the business coach, surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
yeah.
You've been on retreats and stuff as well.
Yeah.
haven't you? Yeah.
I have
People
put
don't
myself
know
in
the power.
every room. Like that's what I mean. Like I've invested all my money back into my business, and like, you know, people tell you, oh, that's a waste of money going to that event. Like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
Like the reason
connections.
that my business has grown so big is I've built networked and built genuine connections from going to these things, and that's how I've got my products in places. And do you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. Same as me. I went
Yeah.
to one beauty event for the first time last year, completely left field. And it has put me in the room with I've got someone flying down to be on the podcast. I have an opportunity with a partnership with a major international brand.
amazing.
And just to network and make new friends. Like it was so rewarding that I'm like, I'm going to get in all the events this year.
Yes.
Hairdresser events aren't happening. They're all bloody beauty. But
Yeah.
if you hear of any, invite me, I'm coming.
Done, sis.
I'm all about it.
Why don't you help host the event for hairdressing?
I have an event for hairdressing that I did last year, and I'm going to do another one this year, hair and beauty. But yes, but I will. I feel like when you're hosting, you don't mingle as much.
No, you don't. It's like your wedding day. It's fucked.
Yeah,
so
right.
stressful.
You get to
I'm not married, but
did I fucking speak to everyone?
yeah. Feels.
But yes, I am hosting, and I do expect to see you there.
Done.
Having paid for a coach to help you move past these mental or fear, mental blocks or fears, do you remember the first struggle you actually experienced that generally shook you, your confidence, your business? And if you remember that first sort of mindset block or obstacle, can you tell me how you've then moved past it?
I'm trying to think of a specific thing, but honestly, I feel like I was just having a mentee bee every day for the last 3 years. Like,
Welcome to being a business owner.
yeah, it fucked up. I'm like, it's like a roller coaster. Like one day, like, wee, next day, like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, yeah, it's
I say it too. I think, oh, this is just the best in the whole world. And like, when I
Yeah.
woke up this morning, I was just like, fuck, I love my job. And then like tomorrow, I'll be like, I want to burn this motherfucker to the
Literally.
ground.
Literally.
Burn the whole thing to the ground.
Yeah.
Actually, that's how I explain
Yeah.
it sometimes. Just want to burn the whole fucking thing.
Yes, like it's like literally I've got whiplash every day. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm giving bipolar at this
Yeah.
point. Like, yeah, it's crazy. It's like the most rewarding, but also the most fucked up, stressful thing I've ever done in my entire life. But I feel like just only now, in the last since I've had the salon and 6 months, I'm like, okay, I'm like living a vida loca. Like I'm loving my life a bit
Yeah.
more now. Just because I've got like
A strong
staff and
team.
support and and like the best team ever. So
It makes a huge difference, doesn't it? I have a really good team at the moment. And yeah, it makes everything a lot easier and run a lot smoother. And being surrounded by people that you actually enjoy being with.
oh my
turn
god,
up to work with, are on the same path, alignment,
Yeah.
have all the same goal is just, really important.
yeah, feels
You've spoken at events in both Australia and New Zealand, which is so fucking cool. I have goals to do that. I need to put myself in that space more. At what point when you were guest speaking and had a voice for the industry, have you ever thought like, fuck, I'm actually a voice for the industry now?
I feel like I spoke at my first big event last year. So that was Lash Summit.
Yeah,
to
tell us
like
a bit about it.
300 people. Actually, scooting back before that, I was a guest speaker. I flew myself up on my own dollar, even bought myself a ticket to the event to speak at someone's event in Queensland to talk about my Y tool. And from there, that was June 2 years ago. From there, at that event, do you know Shay and Helena? They're in the beauty industry. They have the Bareface and Naked podcast. Anyway, these were like top mamas in the industry. Like I would have had, screenshots of their shit on my phone from like 5 years ago, like fangirl hardcore, like big dogs in the industry. They were actually sitting on my table at that event and I had a 10-minute speech, right? And I could see them whispering to each other when I'm up there talking. I'm like,
really?
Yeah, I'm like, they're talking shit about me. Like I'm like dripping sweat. I'm a nobody. I've come by myself.
Good.
And then I sit down and they go to us, so when's your flight home? And I was like, tonight? And they were like, we need you on the podcast tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah. And I was
so
like,
gorgeous.
done. I had no fucking money in my bank. I had like $300.
Yeah.
And then I think the flight was going to cost me $300 to change it. And someone had just paid an order of like the same amount. It was like 322 and then the same amount was 322. And I was like,
Meant to be.
okay, angels, I hear you. And then, yeah, I changed my flight. No fucking money. Went on that podcast. And then I feel like from then it just kind of like took off. So I feel like I was like, oh my God, I've got something to say. And like everyone said they felt really inspired. And like I'm a very open book, a bit of an oversharer, but I feel like that's now my superpower, whereas I've probably had guilt and shame around it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know me.
Can relate to that.
Yeah.
Those feelings. It's super cool. I've never actually spoken on anyone else's podcast. So.
Oh, well, you can go on mine. Yeah.
Okay. Invited myself. You've flown all the way to New Zealand to teach, which is super cool. Tell us the moment that you realised you weren't just teaching in the lash and education industry, but shaping it internationally.
So that was a whole moment that kind of like just happened again. Like it just happened. I was actually working as I was like an educator for a really reputable company within the lash lift space.
Is that what got you over there?
Well, so there's a bit of a story to it. Nothing bad. I was amazing. Like it was my dream job. I think I had like 4 interviews to get it. It was incredible. I was like one of a few in Australia that was their sort of educator. And then long story short, I think because I was like doing the products, I had to eventually, because I had to be like exclusive to them, I had to sort of choose between, going with Lash Alchemy or staying with them. Like, it ended really nice. Still use the brand every day. But I was actually going to go train because they in charge of New Zealand as well. And I was going to go do it for the brand in New Zealand. And then it was at that time as we were planning it that we had to sort of like, I sort of parted ways with them. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go do it on my own.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So epic.
Vomit, like meltdown the whole time. Ash, my selling manager, had to like literally talk me into it. I would have cancelled it 1,000%. And this was June last year. So yeah, I ran some Facebook ads and then somehow managed to get 16 students over there.
Huge.
What do you mean?
What the fuck?
Managed to get 16 students over there, like on not many weeks' notice, mind you, and fucking went to Auckland and Queenstown and taught there. But literally like imposter syndrome to the max. And it only happened because I was like, nah, I'm going to do it myself. Like I was like, I can do it.
Did you go by yourself?
Yeah. And my boyfriend met me over there. Yeah. So I went on my own. And then in that sort of time period was when Korean lash lifting had just come in as well. So like a week before I was going, I'm sort of segueing, but I feel like I got to tell you this story. So 2 weeks before I was going, I was like, holy fuck, Korean lash lifting's taken off. I need to be the pioneer in this. Like, I've got to do this. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do a look and learn. We've only got 1 week before I go to New Zealand. I'm going to do a Korean lash lifting look and learn.
And I'm going to be amazing.
Right. So we sold out. I think I had like 33 tickets in my little squishy salon. We sold out within 30 hours. Those 33 tickets. Mind you, this was on 10 days notice. So we put this event together in 10 days. I had sold it out, and at the end of the event, I told everyone, I was like, look, you guys have all bought a ticket to this event today, like purely trusting me. Fun fact is I only learned how to do this 5 days ago. Yeah. I sold out the event with never doing a Korean lash lift.
You were the educator that learnt and then educated.
I was. No, well, it was a different method. Different method, but like I had sold it out. I'd never doing one. And I was like, I have like 5 days to learn this. Holy shit. Did my first one. I was like, cancel the event. This is fucked.
Yeah, I'm shit at this.
Yeah, I'm shit. And then just like did them every day. It's just a different like way of doing it. Did it every single day leading up to, slayed. And then when I was over in New Zealand, I was like, we need to make this a masterclass. So we filmed it overhead on the day. And then I turned that into an online course, which went and sold out. Like, went hotcakes. So I'm in New Zealand teaching up at 3 a.m. trying to build this online course, like trying to get it out. Like, yeah.
Epic.
Chaos.
I love it. I love it. I booked online education for myself last year and everything just was so overwhelming. I had too many pieces and I cancelled and I need to revisit it ASAP because I've actually got it on Alicia's to-do list. Like message Paul and who's currently filming the podcast, and getting him to lock it in, because I'm just getting so many inboxes every day.
Yeah.
And my following is just growing at such a rapid rate that so many other countries, just people keep asking me for online. So
Do it, sis. Honestly, it's life-changing. If you've got questions, I can answer them because
it's just like far.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Like, if it's done properly, it is a lot. That's
Yeah.
why I'm like, how the fuck are people doing, like, releasing courses in 2 weeks? I'm like, sis, what's in that course?
And like hair is obviously like sometimes a 6-hour process as well.
Yeah.
It's like, who wants to watch for 6 hours? So
They will.
I just need some bite-sized pieces, I think, and get the feels. And that was inspiring for me. So thank you. What was the biggest lesson from taking a chance on yourself by organizing and teaching that overseas education? Do you have any advice for someone who is inspired by that and dreams of doing the same thing?
I think,
AKA me.
yeah, no, I think,
I've never taught overseas.
dude, I'm going to go back this year. I'm going to do I've got a few collabs coming up this year, and we've got plans to go back to New Zealand. Actually, I want to go to America and teach as well. But I definitely had that like impulse, like, who the fuck are you to go and teach overseas? Like, that was it was bad, my mental chatter, like that whole thing. And I was like, no one's going to buy it. Like, and I seriously wanted to cancel it, and I had students lined up, but I think just having a good support person that's like, fucking do it. Like, you just do it.
Is
Like,
this your partner or coach or staff?
my staff
Everyone?
member, Ash,
Yeah.
she's like my selling manager who's
Hype girl.
Yeah, hype girl. She was like, shut the fuck
Oh,
up.
is she the one you just did the video over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's going to work from afar, so that's okay. She's not leaving.
Yeah.
But having her, like, honestly, I 1,000% would have backed out without having her in my ear. She was like, you can help people. Like, you've helped me. Like, she originally came to me for training and then hired her. But she's like, you genuinely have something to give. Like, you can help these people, because I'll compare myself to like the goats in the industry. And I'm like, I'm not as good as them. I can't educate as well as them. But I'm like, I have to think about the people who were me, who needed the help, like people who are 3 steps behind me that I can help. So I think getting yourself into that mindset, like, you can help someone.
Yeah.
Like, people need you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it. What do you think are the main differences between you selling your online courses to selling in person? And what do you think the clients can benefit from it more? And what do you like about each? So just give us a bit of a difference between them both.
I feel like so when someone comes and does an in-person training, they have to do my entire online course before they come in. Otherwise, sis, there's no point. Like, we'll be here for 3 years. So originally when I first started, I was trying to do all in the one day. Like, I would have been charging peanuts back then for in-person training, but I was trying to like teach them the foundations at the start
and send them off to go
and train them that day as well. So they're probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but now they've got to do this, like, it takes a couple of days to get through the course as well, but they've got to do the whole online course before they come and do the hands-on. So I think the main difference is like the person who's doing it, like, what's your learning style? For me personally, I'm a hands-on in-person trainer. Like, I couldn't just do an online course and then go and do it. Like, if I was a complete beginner.
Of course, I agree.
So I think I see a lot more beginners on my in-person and one-on-ones as opposed to
upskilling.
Yeah, upskilling and online
also
girlies.
sticky nosing maybe a little.
Yeah.
Which is great because that's still upskilling, but they're being curious of how you do things. They know the foundations.
Yes, yeah. But I've had people that have been like, let's just say Jenna Boss Brows. I don't know if you know her. She's like a goat in brows and has only just started doing lash lifting, did my online masterclass and is just killing it. But because she's got the foundations of like what is a hair, like she can hold brushes and use her fine motor skills. Like it's no drama.
She's already dabbling in that space anyway.
Yeah, so she killed it from online. So I guess it's your learning style, like the type of people that you're going to get is based
and I
on.
guess if you're not in Melbourne and it's not feasible for you to fly over and see you, then the online space is there.
Yeah, but I'm going to do a collab course over in Sydney in a few weeks as well. Like, my whole goal is to sort of like get around Australia and get around the world in the next few years, because we got stuff to share.
We've got shit to do.
We got shit to do.
Shit to do. Okay, we've deep dived into all the education and we've talked about how we share similarities in that space. I'm also a service provider, educator, and I offer in-person workshops. And I also do product wholesaling, little tiny bits dabbled into at my own hair extension range. In COVID, I honestly just excelled in the online space. So I can completely understand and relate to all of that. But I'm also interested in what inspired or influenced your decision to move into selling your products and why you thought there was a space for for that on the market?
So going back to my products, I don't know if you've seen, I've got my Y tool. Like if you're not into lash lifting,
Can you
you're
tell me
like,
what that is?
the fuck's that? So have you seen a lash lift be done where they like comb their lashes up onto this little pad?
No, but you've got the pad.
I've got the
right?
pad now and I've got the comb, right? So they're like powerhouse.
What have you called it? Y tool.
Y tool. It's a
And
Y
both
tool.
of them.
No, so the tool, it literally looks like a little Y. It's called,
Okay,
it's
cool.
called
So
a Y
it's not
tool.
the pad thing that I've seen.
No,
Okay.
that's a shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
So-
what I've seen.
Yes, you've seen that. So the Y
me
tool
more.
was like my it came out like kind of alongside the serum. And basically I've got photos that I could probably share with this as well. But we used to have reusable ones, right? They were plastic. And you could maybe do 2 clients out of them. Like it's the comb to separate all the lashes and put it into its own lane. Does that make sense? Like it sort of isolates them. I have to show you a
Do you know what
visual.
I'm thinking of?
What?
I'm thinking of when you go and get a pedicure and you get that thing that you put in between. Is that sort of what it's like?
Not at all. Literally couldn't be any further from it.
Okay, scrap that.
Okay, so you've got a
Keep
cleaner
it.
pad and you've got a comb, like a little hairbrush,
Oh,
right?
it's like the little tiny
Yes.
for the end of your brush.
Yes.
And you brush your eyebrows.
Yes.
Or do you brush your lashes?
No, that's a spoolie.
No, not the spoolie. It's like a comb.
Alicia, you're gonna have to pull up some photos here. But
It's a comb.
there is a comb. Yes, there
So
is.
I'm picturing you put your shield on and then you
You're combing.
comb it
Yeah.
all onto the shield so it's all nice and spread before you put your.
Yes.
It's like a permit, isn't
Yes,
it? Right?
yes.
Yeah.
So what makes a good lash lift result is like seeing every single hair isolated on its own because it's going to give you the appearance of volume, right? So when someone's not combing them through, you're going to look like you've got fucking 3 lashes and
Yeah.
who wants that?
Yeah.
So this little comb, right? And everyone would use them. They're reusable. You would use it and then you'd like disinfect it and you could maybe use it for another client until the teeth blunt. And like the teeth are like baby, like super fine before the teeth would blunt or like snap or break. And then, you got to buy them all again. So what was happening is I was like cleaning hundreds of them because all I would do was lash lifts all day, every day. I would clean them all and then put them back into my trolley and then constantly have to buy them. And I was like, holy fuck, this is annoying. Why am I like also like killing the turtles?
No one wants to kill the
No one wants to kill
turtles.
the turtles, although, it happens in our industry. But I was paying so much money. Half of them would come like botched. Like you couldn't use them. The teeth were too far apart. They were broken, like because they were just cheap shit from like eBay, I think. Or
Yeah.
And I was like, this is infuriating. I was like, why is there not a reusable one? Like what? Like why have we not done this? And then I made that my mission to create the first like sustainable reusable one. I either was the first or one of the first to do it.
We'll just
Claim the first. But it took off. Like that's what built my my product line. I've only got the 2 big things at the moment. But that is like pioneered stock in like Browd and Bella Beauty, which they're like the Coles and Woolworths of beauty supplies.
Yeah, amazing.
And that
Huge.
just it went cocoa bananas because it was the first reusable one. Like it
And this
literally
is what
launched
you
years.
flew up and spoke at
Yes.
this event and then had the podcast chat.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
cool.
all
this
started.
opened up extra opportunities.
Yeah.
for your
All
personal
started
brand.
from there. Yeah. So people were saving money, they were saving waste, and like it just made sense. It was like it's a really cheap item, which I underpriced myself to get into the industry and on websites, but that's okay. We live and we learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's fully changed the game. It's reusable and like it's amazing.
Yeah, love that. And sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. No more killing the turtles. Okay. What can you share about the process of creating that tool or those tools since it was so different from anything that was already out there on the market?
Yeah, I feel like with my products, there's like some sort of innovation to them. Like they're not just like a white label, like they've always been custom, if that makes sense. So that was a bit of a process to perfect and design that. I remember
And
like,
expensive.
yeah, expensive as fuck. People don't realize how expensive it is
No.
to make a product. Like, for example, a mold
And you've got to
fee.
make the mold and then you've got to test it. And
Yeah.
you've got to make sure that works because if it doesn't, then you've got to go back and invest in a new concept, a new mold, a new design.
Yeah, and it takes so long. Like, for example, the molds, just for the mold for my shield was $4,000.
Yeah.
Like,
People don't understand.
people don't get it.
No.
Right. And going back to the white tool, I remember like looking, I was like, how the fuck can I get like a metal comb so small? I was trying to look at like head lice combs. I was trying to look at like all these things that were like small metal tools and I couldn't
it.
find it. And
Yeah.
then my father-in-law has got like a engineering background and he was like, sheet metal.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
And let's just draw it up and whip
Let's
it up
just-
and send it off to some people for some.
Yep. Draw it up. And I got like multiple samples, like of
Yeah.
all different teeth sizes and thicknesses. And then I sent that off to people who were in the industry to get them to try and see which one they liked better. And then, yeah, essentially just pitched that. I actually pitched the concept of it when I was at an networking event to one of the suppliers owners. And then she's like, when it comes in, send it to me. I think she was probably just being nice.
Yeah.
And then I did, and then she's like, oh, okay, I actually like this. Like,
Really
it's actually really good. And I think she then trialed and stocked 10, and then we went from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. And again, it was not, I didn't put this big pressure on me. I was not like, this product's going to sell out overnight. I was like, this is a cool product that I can just sell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think,
away in the background.
yeah, I don't know about you, but has everyone always told you, like, you're doing too much, you're trying to grow 3 things at once? And like,
And my mum, isn't it just enough to stay in your home salon in the garage?
no, mum, it's not.
Yeah, just got big goals.
Big goals.
And I don't have goals where like I was young, I was like, I want to do this. I have a goal where it's like, oh, I want to do this. And then I'll go do it next week. So I'll do like you.
Yes.
Like, it's not like this is my lifelong goal.
No.
It's just like, oh, this is my new goal. I'm just going to like pivot and I'm just going to
Yes.
move forward in that direction at any,
Yes.
nothing's going to stop me and I'm just going to do it.
Yes. Like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, my
I might
life
have a
is
new goal.
truly, yeah, I'm like, oh, fuck, we're doing this today. My staff probably like, oh my God, this bitch is so annoying.
I feel like that's how Alicia sometimes feels. And Chloe, it's like, scrap everything on your fucking to-do list. We're now working towards this. And it's like, but I've spent hours in creating content over this.
I don't care.
Not my problem.
The amount of content I've made, and it's like, it doesn't even get used because I'm like, yeah, girl.
I know.
But yeah, same thing. Everyone's always told me. I remember hearing like, I was like, I want to do product and I want to do, but I didn't want to make it this big thing. Like I just wanted my product, and then I was training people, and then I would do clients, right? That's all it was, and it just kind of grew. But everyone was like, you can't do those 3 things at once. And I'm like, when someone tells me I can't, I'm like, ha, watch me.
Yeah.
Like it's actually toxic. I'm like, but it drives me. Like I'm like, you said I can't, so I'm going to. Like I'm going to do it.
And all it takes is just moving in that direction until it happens. People don't realize that's all you have to do. You just need to keep taking one step closer.
Yeah.
And then if it's a bit of like NLP and a bit of coaching that I do, like work towards the goal. If it's not working, literally pivot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pivot until it fucking works and then keep moving forward.
Yes.
It's as simple as it gets to be.
Yeah.
With anything in life.
Yeah. And like just now, all 3 of the facets of the business are like booming, which is my, you know, my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything just starts to feel a little bit easier.
Yes. Yeah.
In perfecting your products, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you've made? And could you offer advice to any other business owner to potentially avoid making these mistakes?
I would say like biggest mistakes I've made with the products, because I've only really got like the 2 or 3. So it's like, it's something I'm trying to grow. But I guess like one thing that I didn't know is when you're doing a product, obviously, and you're trying to speak online about it with someone overseas, because let's be so fucking for real, like we're in China. Like I feel like, why are we all hiding it? My suppliers in China.
They're fucking hard work to deal with.
They're hard work. I'm like, there's no shame. Everyone's like, it's the way of the world, right? But it's so hard.
Everything we're wearing is from China. Like everything in this room's from China, basically.
Literally. And I feel like that used to be this big like, oh, it's from China. But like now it's like, fucking people are going on brand trips over there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's super hard. Like trying to, obviously the language barrier, the time difference, like your time.
They're always
time,
on
like,
fucking holidays. They're
always.
on Chinese New Year at the moment.
Didn't know that one.
Yeah,
put that in my diary for next year.
Be careful.
Yeah. But I think one thing I didn't realize as well is just because you've got like a color code, like, you know, your Pantone colors and stuff, every material, it shows up different.
Yeah.
So I think for me, like, I'm like, holy fuck, my colors aren't how I want them to be. And even in my shield, so I did every color shield, I've got a 5-pack, was a slightly different tone of brown. And I wanted like the last one to be dark brown. But when you're isolating a lash on a shield, you need to have contrast to see where that lash is. So dark brown shield, black lash. You can't see shit, right?
Yeah.
So then I had to pivot and then change all the colors to like a lighter color of the range. But do you know what I mean? The tones are off. I'm like, oh, I hate it here, but just get it out.
Yeah.
So,
and I've already invested in all the brown ones and but
people are waiting. I'm
cut my losses.
I've been telling them it's coming out September. It's fucking Christmas. Okay. Yeah. So I think maybe don't get ahead of yourself with like when you think it's going to come out. And I guess.
And if it doesn't work, don't beat yourself up over it.
Yeah. It's fine.
Because that's hard, isn't it? We put ourselves under pressure with these sort of timelines. And as you said, with dealing with overseas suppliers and just launching something new as well, it doesn't always go to plan.
No. Yeah. If you think your timeline's this much, double it.
Yeah.
Triple it. Yeah. With product, it takes ages. And then by the time they send it over to go test it, then you're like, fuck, now we're going to go back again. Like, do you know what I mean? It does take time. I don't even know if I answered your question.
It's very time consuming. Yeah.
Very.
I just think it's not as easy as how everyone thinks it is. And
not at all.
it's quite a lengthy process of testing and researching and just fully making that product making sure that product's right before you can launch it to the public. So
Yeah, and
you
being
did answer it.
yeah,
You did
and being
answer it.
proud of it. Like, I don't want to release something that I'm like, ugh, I've got the ick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being, but also
Just
like
to push it.
good is good enough. Like I'm like, oh, I want perfect, but I'm like, no, it's still really good. Just get it out there, and you can refine as you go.
Yeah, grow and refine. Coloring is the perfect example of brand choice. Are there any big branding identity choices that you implemented to help keep each of your branding identities separate? Across all your brands, is something color and branding, like have you tried to keep them all their separate identities, or have you tried to include them all in one? Like, have you got similar tones?
Yep.
Have you created that sort of
Cohesiveness.
cohesiveness as the three identities, or are they all completely separate?
I always say they're like sister brands, and only again, branding is something that I don't know why I made this big fucking thing. I guess it is a big thing, branding, right? Like, it's like if you're gonna do it,
Huge.
yeah. Okay, here's me going. I'm like
Huge.
It's taken
Branding
me.
is why you're here on my couch. Branding is why you've been able to educate and sell
Yeah.
lashes. So, a lot of people do think colors and stuff is branding, but branding for that is not me. Branding is, like your voice and you, and, having those tones and stuff does naturally come in. Recently, I've done a couple of workshops, and in it, I've written my name on a huge post-it note, and I've stuck it on the wall, and I've said, what does everyone think of the brand? And people were writing like beige and stuff up there, and some people were offended by that, but I'm like, I can see how that is part of my brand.
Yeah.
Right? My podcast, my salon, my house, the way I dress most of the time on my content. So people view me in that space as a color. So cohesively across all of those brands, do they all sort of intertwine, or are they all quite separate?
They're kind of like sister brands now. And again, like I feel like I only found this within the last 12 months. I've had my branding done that many times, and I've never loved it. So I've never stuck to it. It's never felt like home, like this is it. And only, in the last 6 months, I got my branding redone, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is it.
Colors, fonts,
everything. And it's just like, it's super basic. But I think for me, my brand comes across in my tone. I think I come across in my brand. Like, I want to be like fun and cheeky, yet still professional. I think something that I struggled with a lot was I feel like I'm not for the beauty industry. I'm like this big bogan, like feral. And I just feel like I've never.
I call myself bougie bogan. You can take that.
Yes, that's so good.
I'm fucking bougie bogan.
I love it.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I've just felt like I don't fit in the beauty industry until, again, like probably the last 12 to 6 months where I've really leaned into like, fuck it, this is who I am, and sort of trying to like break the mold of that. So I guess, when I did my branding, we have like our, browns and beiges, which everyone has, but then you got your tones and stuff that can come into it, your voice. But I've tried to make them like sister brands. They've all got like a slightly different, one uses a big logo, and they've got different shades of brown that are more prominent in areas. But you can definitely tell that they're cohesive and they're sisters, which I wanted as well. Like, I wanted it to be, across the board, same, but different.
Recognizable, that they're all under this one umbrella.
Yeah, but then going back to that, like I guess like my voice and like being fun in my posts and stuff like that, and like really letting out who I am as a person into my branding, I think that has definitely helped set sort of like who we are, and like people know that when they're coming in, they're not coming into like boring training or, you know what I mean, like a boring salon. Like,
I know who they're walking into once they're going in.
Yeah.
You said you come across a lot in your brand, so naturally you've ended up sharing so much of yourself and your personality online. But this podcast is all about going deeper than what we could find online, and uncovering who you are behind closed doors. What is something that even clients who've come to you or followed you for years, or anybody else in the industry, don't know about you or your brand, or something that you could share to our audience that people go, oh, I didn't know that about her?
Oh, I don't know if this was like that deep, but I feel like people assume that I'm like super confident. I feel like that's like definitely like a you fake it till you make it vibes. And the people think that I'm like, oh, it's just easy for me, but I have hardcore imposter syndrome. Like, who the fuck do I think I am going on this? Or, I'll have thoughts like, oh, this is just luck. I've just accidentally ended up here. They've just asked me on their podcast just because like they needed someone to feel like. So I definitely have those like thoughts, which I think people wouldn't think.
Yeah.
And another thing, I think people just think I'm like cashed up because, but the sell online and everything like that. But like, I drive a Swift with a broken headlight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all my money goes back into the business, and I have like taken out loans. I've like put everything into it. I've made mistakes. Like, I think people probably think I'm this like big cashed up person. I'm like, I'm not.
Well, you said earlier that we're all going to learn something about financial position or something like
Yeah.
that. Like people have probably thought that you're absolutely killing it when you've had $0 in your bank.
Yeah, babe. Like it all goes back in. It get like as you know, like to grow. I'm like the first piece of advice I ever got off my friend's dad, who was a business owner when I was 14. He said like you've got to spend money to make money, and that has always just like ingrained into my brain. So like every dollar I've had has gone literally back into the business to grow it and to grow it quick. So I think people probably assume there's heaps. I'm like, babes, it's going back into the business. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not just sitting here with this big cashed up house. Like my car and my house come last. My business comes first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's deep.
No, that's perfect. I think it's very relevant. And I think a lot of people do view business owners as having all this money
Yeah.
and all these things. I always like my kids say everyone at school calls you rich mum. And I'm like, I'm a hairdresser. Your dad's a roof tiler. We're not rich. We just like spending. Well, I take that back. I like spending.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of your friends' parents probably have tons of money in the bank. I spent it all.
Yeah.
I have a pretty couch. I have nice shoes.
Yeah.
I have a Louis Vuitton handbag.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't have all this money sitting in my bank because I'm a spender.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Same
I just got to
shit.
live in the moment. But it's really funny how people then view your stuff
Yeah.
or, you know, what you're doing and be like, oh, you've just in overflow. And it's
Absolutely
interesting.
not. No.
Yeah. Just over here doing my thing. With my It's Casey Lee coaching clients, we talk a lot about envisioning your goals and mapping out the steps to get there. It's something that I work on my retreat as well. I'm very, very, I much love that space. You're very ambitious. I'm also very, very keen to know what is a future goal of yours? What's on the radar?
So I think this year I want to go to China and go to my supplier and like just let's bang out these products because the 3 weeks back and forth is not it. I am like wanting to start a podcast later in the year, so I would love to have you on. Bought the business name 2 years ago, so I've just been sitting on that fucking around.
Yeah. Well, I do know someone that records really good podcasts.
Perfect. That's my guy.
That is your guy over there.
I think, I'm about to start with a new coach and we're going into like systems backends. I'm going to like lean into like meta ads and stuff like that as well. So like I'm on a fucking full send this year. Like I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. Like especially with all the different avenues you've got.
Yeah. So my goal this year is to like, this is the year that we're like scale. We've been building
It's
blocks.
the year of the horse, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm on the horse. I'm riding it.
Yeah. Good.
And then again, like I feel like I don't ever know what's around the corner. I've got lots of collabs coming up this year with girls and events, and I want to go overseas and teach and stuff like that, and just grow the products. Like,
I'm sitting here feeling very inspired.
oh really?
Yeah,
Good.
like really inspired. I'm like, okay, I got to get my shit together
Get it together.
because I feel like this was me last year, and this year I've just been like, oh, just like dawdling along, really like more growing my team.
Yeah.
And everything you're saying is like, yes, that's exactly what I want. So it's been a
Yes.
very inspiring
Oh,
chat with you on the
thank you.
couch. And I've really enjoyed it. To wrap it up, I think it's important for all of my guests to offer one piece of advice completely in their own words that you'd pass on to someone who owns a business or who is thinking about opening a business or is currently in this space. What would be the advice that you would give from Vanessa, from this incredible human that you are?
I would say like stop. Like what the fuck are we waiting for? Like why are we sitting there like festering on an idea? Like just literally go for it. Like that's one thing I'm trying to really do this year. I always go, oh yeah, we'll do that later. Like why not do it now? Like what are we waiting for? It's really not that deep. I'm a big like we fucking die and our money goes in the ground. So like why are we not just living it up? I'm like someone who's like if I'm not having fun every day, if I'm not laughing every day, I don't really know what the fucking point is. So like just go for it. It's not that deep. We're literally gonna die.
Yeah.
And then another thing as well, like I love this quote, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
So if you think you can't, you absolutely can't.
You're blocking yourself.
Yeah. And just be fucking delusional. Like
People
just
don't
be a bit
realize
silly.
how important our thoughts are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be delusional.
Be delusional. I'm so delulu that like I have no doubt that everything I want, I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for you.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to give you the biggest cuddle.
Thank you.
I feel like this was just the most incredible chat,
Thanks.
especially to start off the day of back-to-back recording.
Hope you're feeling high vibes now.
I'm not feeling high vibes. I'm feeling just so
Good.
content. Good. Like it was such a great conversation. And I think anybody listening at home is just going to eat it up. And yeah, very inspiring what you're doing. And I can't wait to watch you thrive this year.
Thanks,
and
sis.
to speak on your future podcast.
Yes. And it's crazy to think I met you, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at your podcast lunch show.
How crazy is that? My makeup artist this morning said, "Oh my God, I got so many inbox messages about your lunch." I said, "I do like to throw on events."
Yeah, that was
very beautiful.
That was bougie.
Yeah, it was
I loved
bougie.
it. Bougie bogan.
Yeah, but that one wasn't bougie bogan, but I'm
That was
bougie
bougie.
bogan. Oh,
Perfect.
great. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And we will see you soon.
See you on my podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, done.
Amazing.